Coming up on NEC-TV, an exclusive interview with this year's graduation speaker. CNN's Dana Bash speaks only to NEC-TV. What graduates can expect to hear from her message.
The student government election is coming up. Learn more about the candidates and how to get involved.
Plus, we get a look into the spring break Spain immersion trip.
In all things sports, we discuss the latest lacrosse, baseball, and softball games. See how the teams look so far in conference play.
All that and more coming up on NEC-TV.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Stovall.
And I'm Nathan Ure, and you're watching NEC-TV. Today is April 3rd, 2025.
We begin with our top story, an exclusive NEC-TV interview with the 2025 NEC commencement speaker.
This year's speaker is CNN's Dana Bash. Bash has served as CNN's chief political correspondent since 2015. Alongside Jake Tapper, Bash anchors Inside Politics in the State of the Union, breaking down American politics. Bash has also launched 2 CNN series, and in 2019, she won the National Press Foundation's Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism. Bash will be awarded the Doctorate of Humane Letters Honoris Causa by the New England College Board of Trustees to recognize her achievements. Bash hopes to leave this year's graduates thinking about perspective.
To be serious about your craft, to be serious about your family, to be serious about your friends, but it's also important to have perspective on everything around you. And it's really hard to see when you are just launching into the world. And so I hope to impart some of that to the graduates.
Graduation will take place in just 30 days on May 3rd on the Simon Lawn. No tickets are required. 2 lacrosse players are male and female Pilgrims of the Month. Daniel Varga of the men's lacrosse team won Male Grim of the Month. Varga has a team-high 34 goals and 16 assists through the month of March. Meadow Gilchrist of the women's lacrosse team was named Female Grim of the Month. Gilchrist has 31 goals and 42 points throughout the month of March, with a hat trick in 6 of her 8 games played.
The Student Government Association elections are approaching. Nathan is joined in studio with Michael Bernard, Student Government President, and Gavin Bibu, Assistant Director of Student Engagement. Nathan?
I'm joined here with Gavin Bibo, the Assistant Director of Student Engagement, and Michael Bernard, the President of the Student Government Association. So I wanted to ask, what is the Student Government Association? What does it do?
You want me to take this one or you want it?
I can always take this one.
All right, there you go. So the Student Government Association is our representative body for both student clubs and also just students at large on campus. So typically our meetings consist of a lot of representatives from clubs on campus, such as usually History Club or Sports and Rec, all of them come together to help, especially with figuring how to manage club budgets and so on. A big thing we do every year is we have to manage, like, how do clubs get their money, make sure they actually put on events that are good for the campus. And of course, it's always open to every student on campus. They can always come by. It's a great public forum to get their ideas across, their opinions, concerns, even just complaints. And as the representative body, it's our job to take those complaints and then pass it along to the administration.
Yeah. Why do you think it's important that students are involved in SGA?
I think it's always important for students to be involved in student government because I remember starting out here, even up till even this year. It's a great way to meet new people, great way to start a club if you aren't in one, or be in a club, be engaged with other people, meet new friends. Or again, if you have anything that you're concerned about on campus, you know, it's this open place to come talk to your peers, talk to the SGA president and the e-board, and get those heard and make sure that they're going to be communicated to with the proper channels.
Yeah. Gavin, how can students get involved in SGA?
So it's really easy to get involved. So really, they just have to reach out to me or Dr. Schrader. So currently, right now, we have a lot of openings for senator positions. So those are open. We do elections in the spring and the fall. So we always send out emails to get those who are interested. Then me and Dr. Schrader do a conduct check, a GPA check to make sure that they're eligible. And then from there, it goes into an election. So coming up, we have our election that gets sent out to all students via Microsoft form, and then they have 24 hours to vote digitally.
All right. Are there any other ways to get involved in SGA beyond running for like positions?
Yep, so all SGA meetings are always open to the public. Anyone at NEC can come. And then student government also hosts some different events that they're always looking for help with. So an example of that is the election kickoff party. So there's definitely different ways to get involved. But also, if you're not elected and you want to see change, student government has office hours. Anyone can come by and kind of voice their concerns and get basically as involved as they really want.
All right, awesome. You mentioned to me that there's an upcoming election. How exactly do student government elections work?
So we are going to have our debate on April 3rd. That's just a general meet the candidates night, and also for my position, which is contested for next year. That's going to be the first step into more so getting involved, coming to meet the candidates. So the way that the elections usually work is this year on April 9th at 12 a.m., so midnight on April 9th, a Microsoft form will go out to the entire campus, and it will have all the positions, and you'll be able to select one for each position. And that will be the full day until 11:59 p.m., same day, April 9th.
All right. Who's running for elections this year?
So for the position of the president, that is going to be I'm running again. I'm running for re-election for the 2025 through 26 school year. I know I'm the only contested position. My opponent's name is John Lindborg. I personally don't know him extremely well. I cannot speak about him too much. I just know he's running, and he seems very excited about it. For vice president, we have Colin Dushakowitz, who is making a bump. He was this year's past secretary. For secretary of this year, we have Sumana Crovey. She was our first-year executive this past year. And for the spot of the treasurer, we're actually having the same guy run again, Charles Simmons. He decided that he wanted to run again. It was an open spot, and he's the only one running for it now. So again, only contested one this year is the office of the president.
All right. You mentioned there's going to be a debate tonight. Is there anything that either of you could tell us about it? I'll go with Gavin first.
Sweet. So it's going to start off with all of those executive positions that are uncontested, with those candidates doing an introduction. And then from there, we're going to move into some questions that we have prepared for our the candidates for president. Parker Doobie is going to be the moderator because he's not running for re-election. So he's going to be running the show. And then from there, it's going to open up to a forum with students to come and ask questions. And then immediately after tonight's debate, we're doing the election kickoff party in the pub. So that's another opportunity for students to come and kind of meet some of the candidates and ask them questions if they're not comfortable doing so in front of everyone.
All right. Mike, is there anything you can tell us about tonight's debate?
Yeah, really the debate tonight is just looking forward to taking questions from the students about anything that's concerning them or just wanting to meet us a little more and know us a little better.
All right. Is there anything either of you would like to add about the Student Government Association or anything like that?
I think it's really a great way to get involved. As Mike kind of touched upon, it's important for students to get their voices heard, and that's really what student government strives to do, while also really creating opportunities for clubs. So if you're not sure how to get involved on campus, it's a great crew. Me and Dr. Schrader are the advisors. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to either of us, and we're happy to help you out.
All right, Mike?
Yeah, I just love the open forum nature of the entire Student Government Association. And I just love making sure that people know they're heard and that there's people who are making sure that anything they see is wrong or concerning on campus, that they have the appropriate way to go about it and make sure they are heard and understood.
All right, awesome. It's great having you guys. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
Association is tentatively planning the semester's parking court for April 10th. Students will be able to fill out a form to appeal their tickets, and these tickets appeals will be brought before the SGA e-board and representatives.
They get to present their case, and we get to review the case, and we vote on whether or not their ticket gets appealed, they don't have to pay their fine, or whether or not they do have to pay their fine, and campus security, a representative from campus security is also here and kind of oversees the whole process.
SGA representatives say students must complete the appeal form, and the final date and time of the event will be sent to student email addresses soon.
Coming up after the break, the 3rd annual Renaissance Fair is coming to campus this Saturday. Find out what to expect at the event.
A close look at the images and memories from the Spain immersion trip. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. WNEC, the campus radio station, is hosting WNEC Fest next week. The event includes a cornhole tournament and dollar drafts. Station manager Parker Doobie says the goal is to introduce people to the radio station and have fun ahead of the end of the semester.
We are holding down the 2nd floor of Simon for a cornhole tournament and some dollar drafts, and just a night of fun when we know a lot of athletic teams have it off, and after student spotlight, or before student spotlight, before finals week starts to get stressful.
WNEC Fest will take place on April 10th. Anyone interested can scan the QR code on the flyers around campus to sign up for the cornhole tournament.
The New England College Roleplay Association is holding its 3rd annual Renaissance Fair this Saturday, April 5th. The event will have armored combat, food, a costume contest, stockades, and more. NECRA is also working with multiple other student organizations to make the fair happen, including the History Club, Ravens and Writing Desk, and the Photo Club. Additionally, the club has nearly tripled the number of student vendors from last year that will be selling their art and other products. The fair will run from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Ice Arena.
If you're interested in attending an event in the Art Village, artists Kahn and Selznick will be discussing their current exhibition. There will be an informative talk and reception at the Chester Gallery in Henniker this evening from 4 to 6 p.m.
It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a group of NEC students who traveled abroad over spring break.
A small group from NEC traveled to Spain. Junior nursing major Steph Branowicki looks back on her memories from the Basque region.
I had the chance to go to Spain. We went to Bilbao, Vitoria-Gasteiz, and San Sebastian. So you were required to be a senior student, have 90 credits at least. Each course, we're immersed in Basque culture, learning about their culture and different art and food. Food's really big over there. Food was fantastic. I loved being able to have that safety net of having professors and experienced travelers with us while still being able to hang out with new students. My roommate and I, we were the only only non-art students that went on the trip, which was unique because we haven't really branched out in different minors that way, so that was awesome. Unique because a small group kind of lets you build that close-knit bond that you didn't think was ever going to be possible within a week, but traveling really builds that. It's quite a test visiting different countries in the sense that you are out of place, but it's a good challenge and it's a unique position because it kind of forces you to be immersed in their culture and step outside your comfort zone. Very open, the architecture is fantastic. That was a big appeal for me. And just kind of connection to culture. People are very kind, like always eager to talk to you because they can recognize you're a tourist. So they kind of make their way to be like, oh, what are you guys doing here? You know, we had chatted with some folks from Germany when we were in the same space. They recognized we were Americans, and it's just kind of neat to fill that like emptiness that you know you're both different from each other, but you're still, you know, same people.
Coming up after the break, a check-in on lacrosse, baseball, and softball.
Plus, NEC athletes compete for fun during Division III week. A look at the schedule just ahead. NEC men's lacrosse team has earned the first GNAC win of the season.
The Grims defeated Anna Maria at home on Friday with an impressive 15-8 final score.
The Grims wasted no time getting on the board. 36 seconds into the game, junior midfielder Daniel Vargas scored his 34th goal of the season with just under 7 minutes left in the first quarter. NEC turns to Henry File, Matt Ulrich, and Varga, scoring back-to-back goals to take a 5-2 lead. The Grims tallied 15 goals, 7 by Varga. The team traveled to Norwich University in Vermont Tuesday. The Grims defeated Norwich University 14-7, scoring their second win in the GNAC conference. NEC women's lacrosse hosted a game against Norwich University on Wednesday. NEC lost 5-16. NEC women's lacrosse now has 5 wins and 6 losses on the season. They will host their next game this Saturday at 1 p.m. against Riviere.
NEC men's baseball played Mitchell College Sunday, resulting in an 8-1 win. They had a tough loss in a tight game to Clark University April 2nd, falling 11-15. The Grims will play Friday in a doubleheader against Colby Sawyer. This was originally a home game, but due to weather, they are now playing at Colby Sawyer at noon and 3 o'clock.
NEC softball team traveled to Massachusetts to compete against Maritime Academy in a doubleheader. NEC won their first game 6-2. They then lost the second game 2-6, putting them at a 6-win and 12-loss record on the season.
NEC athletes are preparing for the annual D3 week. This is a fun opportunity for sports teams to compete by playing each other in a variety of games. The schedule includes a pep rally, dodgeball, lawn games, and a trivia night, and a powder puff game. The winning teams will take home prizes.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at NEC.TV for the latest NEC news.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here next week for all things NEC from the only Henniker on Earth.